We're here at IFA with one of the first ever versions of the newest Galaxy Fold, packed into a small room with a handful of reviewers, the very first to ever see this, the brand new Galaxy Fold. The Fold is back. So this is one of the first ever versions of the Galaxy Fold, going on sale tomorrow in South Korea, going on sale September 18th in a handful of European countries, England, France, Spain, I forget exactly which, and then on sale in the US at some point. Boo, Samsung, when are we gonna get this thing? It is cool. Now you might remember when Samsung first released the Galaxy Fold, they had some issues with it. And I say issues being very generous. It wasn't ready for re-release. And the president of Samsung, DJ Ko, said he apologized, they had rushed the thing out to market. So this is the repaired, replaced, newer version of this thing. They did some work on the hinge back here. There were some issues with the protective cover that was overlaid on top of this that was peeling up at the sides. And just by my preliminary glances at this thing, it doesn't appear to have any cover that you can actually get at, although let's be honest, we could probably break it if we wanted to. Let's try not to. Again, hands-on with the very first version that exists. What leaps out at me right away is that this screen is absolutely gorgeous. So this is a giant 7.6 inch, I believe, maybe 7.4 inch version of the screen inside, and then on the outside there's a separate little display, a plastic one basically. It's not really good for much of anything. You wouldn't end up using this thing. And in fact, in our hands-on review of the first version, we had said, well, yeah, we end up looking at the big thing, unfolding the whole thing to use it this way more often. Now look at this, it's really a two-handed device. You can't reach across it with your thumb. It is too big to use with just one hand. But that's okay, because again, it folds. Now here's the key. Inside there, right, you can see, if you look very closely, you can see that seam where it folds. Is that noticeable? Is that going to be a problem? Samsung has said they tested this thing over 200,000 times, torture tests in the labs to see if the fold became a problem, if this thing could handle that. Samsung says it can. Now we haven't tried it, I don't know. But just looking at it, does the fold bother me? It bothers me a little bit, but I think the benefit of having this giant screen outweighs any problems. Now there's nothing to see over here, of course. Just a hinge hidden behind this metal barrier. You've got your cameras over here and a handful of buttons on this side. USB and speakers, of course. No headphone jack. Sorry, folks. So what's it like to use the brand new Galaxy Fold? It's a good weight in the hand, heavier than most smartphones for sure, but not substantially so, not gonna throw you off. The size is really good. It's like a large candy bar really, but it fits nicely into your pocket. And the weight feels great in your hand. Now what you're wondering most about though, that fold mechanism, what's that like? It's really satisfying. It feels good to open and close this thing, and I could see you just doing it over and over again. The big thing, of course, that screen. It is a beautiful screen. Really just pops right off of the page. I could see you using outside and not having any issues with brightness, which sometimes can affect phones like this. This hinge, this action is very nice. It kind of pulls itself in at the last second. There is a little magnetic clip that holds it in place, or maybe it's a physical one, hard to tell. But it's a really satisfying, and it makes a satisfying sound too, doesn't it? I like it. It's really a great size. This fits very nicely into your hand, and when opened up, the luxury of having a screen like this is why people carry tablets, right? The fact that you can pack that directly into your pocket is a real convenience, and it does fit nicely into my pocket. That said, that price is going to be something to handle. Now, Samsung hasn't released all of the details yet, so we don't know exactly what it's going to cost. And again, no idea when it goes on sale in the US. They just say in the next couple of weeks. Should you plunk your hard-earned cash down on something like this? I'd love to torture test it a little and see how durable this screen is. It sure looks nice. That seam in there doesn't bother me too much. It really looks like they've gone to lengths to try to mitigate that. And this is very satisfying. Just the act of opening and closing a phone, I could do this over and over again. I could see people playing around with this open and close thing. So that mechanism really needs to be durable. Is it there? It sure feels pretty good.